How about, can anyone hear me out there? So if you guys hear me out there, let me know it's working. There we go. So if you guys hear me out there, let me know it's working. Well, this shows the program here. We're going to turn it on in a second. I think it's OSD something it's called. What's the program called? So that's the program you guys look up. This is the one it will show you here. This works for this. This is the one we're using. It does all. And this works on Windows, Linux, Mac, but this one works on Windows pretty good on here. On a laptop, it's pretty good. The problem what happened today on this. Hey, what's up, Mark Sandquist? I see you in the chat. Hey, what's up, Mark Sandquist? I see you in the chat. This is how it works, but this is the program you should get here. It's pretty okay, but what happened to me, when I open up too many windows in a laptop, it'll actually cut the audio off in your headphones, and that's what it'll do. That's what was having that problem, but it works good on WebSDR servers, pretty good. Also, this is the program you guys should get for your laptops. You could use it for all these things here. And I found this on BitChute today. When I found this, it will do BitChute, it will do YouTube, it'll do other things, Twitch. But I think the UDX21 should check this out. It's got a lot of features and stuff, but if I don't have this near my radios here, but this is my brother's laptop. It's a Dell Inspire 15. The other one I use an iMac on my other one because it still works good, which has Catalina. It's an old 2009, still works good by watching videos and stuff like that. But you could use a thing called DOS-Do1 to look it up on YouTube, and you can run older Macs on those systems as long as you have some great processor power. It's pretty good. But I'm looking at the features that it shows. This is what it does, all the stuff. I would recommend a lot of the UDX guys to try this out, play around with it, and see how it does. But I don't know if you can actually put a bunch of other cameras on the system, but it's pretty decent. But it's got a lot of things you have to do. But I'm trying to figure out how you can activate a webcam on these things. But it does things you can go to other places in the system. It's pretty cool. And that's a good thing about this. You could actually run one of your other live streams at the same time and run this on one of these things. So this is the program I'm using right now, I'm talking on. And it will work for all that. I recommend anybody get this. Maybe Wagmasters should try it out. And I'm trying to figure out how you can hook up an audio source to the system. But the good thing about the desktop audio, it's got something pretty cool feature here. If you have one of those sound cards in your desktop computer, that will do good for the C radio. You could actually put an inline connection at the same time and run it on something like that. But this one has like a one jack system. But there probably is multi-USB that does all that. But it can do something like that if you want to do something like this. This will actually run things to your radio and want to talk on the air. The only thing you have to be careful not to transmit through it. But I have one of those wired devices. We'll plug from the laptop to a speaker out there, but wish it could run an inline connection direct in the system. Be quite good. So this is the one we're using. So I'll show you guys something where we got this thing at, and I'll show you. This is where you get the quad 5 Top Guns at, and this is where I bought it from. This is where I bought the quad 5 when it first came out. I think it was in 2017. They still sell it. I'll show you in a minute. Just enter the website. It's out of Penn State. This is the radio, and look how much it's going for, $499. I got it for $200, but I'll show you the whole entire quad 5 Top Guns website in here. This is the one that goes like 90 watts to 100. I did my basic stop. You guys can see it. Is it looking good on the screen? It's pretty good. This is all the sources of the quad 5. I have the cable for it, but this is where you'll get it from the Bob CB shop, and this is the new version of it. You guys can see it. And I have printed these out. They're the same settings like the original one has. And we could go show it on the site here where we can go look all the original up. But the way you go find the original quad 5, just go look up CB Tricks, and it's actually good. So it's got all that stuff. Let's go to a Westlight SDS server, and I'll show you where we got the coax at. I can show you that in a second. And this is great, but I think this is how Dennis does this on O2 Radio Network. So I'm just going to go through it, and this is where you go get the coax, the JS wire. I'll show you in a second where it's at. Just type JSO, and that's the coax you can get. But I got it from their FleaBase store too. So I'm trying to find the JS Row coax wire. Let me go look at that. There we go. And that's what they make here. This is where I got it from. This is the same coax I'm using. Instead, they have 95 foot. This is where I got off FleaBase. This one right here, guys. And it came to free shipping on FleaBase. They still sell it, but you can do it on Maxim Marine Electronics out of Florida. And it's out of Pompano Beach, not far. I used to live in Hollywood, Florida, a long time ago. This is like almost near West Palm Beach. But look at what they got here. They got other GSL wires. They have LM400, but this is the one I actually have. I had to solder those connections. What I did. They make it up to 95 foot, but I think Andy should check this one out. But the other one's from Puerto Rico. It's called Alpha, and they got other wires they do. So this is a lot of stuff, and I'll show you guys a little bit more and stuff like that. But right now, what my dad's having, mom's been sucking him out. A lot of stuff, been coughing and stuff. He's getting better each day because he's on that antibiotics. Has been getting out of his digest system for almost a couple of weeks and stuff like that, for the last week and a half almost. He's getting better each day, but he almost died in the hospital, which good thing didn't happen, because like I told you what happened, guys, that day and that morning. But yeah, right now I'm gonna get my coax hooked up real soon, maybe today or tomorrow, the next day. But we're gonna get some nice temperatures, and I'll tell you guys, my birthday is this weekend on Saturday. You guys know that, and yep, it's usually, but I would love to get my Cobra 139 repaired. That's what I want to do. But I'm trying to tell them to take it to Evolution Electronics. I have the caps for it and all that stuff. And if you guys want to send me some caps for the Robin 123B, let me know. I could put it in there because I had a new set of flux. I don't have a lot of good solder iron, so I got a good deal on a solder flux for like $12 off Amazon. It was well worth the price. It gives you like a little bit better jar of it. It's sealed and everything. It doesn't come with a brush, but it was not bad for the price I got for it. It'll last me for a long time. This is a site you guys should check out. They sell boat marine stuff. These dabbers you could use a lot of that. But you gotta try alternative sources to get coax, but mostly they're on sale. It's a pretty good deal. L400, 600. Never heard of that stuff. Look at that high quality cable. I would look into this, see what it does. You never know. The L400 is right here, about $58. This is 40 foot. You can get some this. I would check these wires out. But they sell this from Ham Radio Outlet and Copper Electronics and stuff like that. And we're gonna go look at some other stuff here. The Copper Electronics is where they still have it. Let's see. So I'm gonna go listen to some OLED SDR systems on here in a second. Let's go look at that. There, Louisiana, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, this one's been one of the best sites out there. I recommend Copper Electronics because they use every payment they have. Wilcott Radio doesn't use JuPal and stuff like that, or other stuff. But this one, Wilcott Radio is pretty good. But this is where I got my beam antenna from, and this is all the stuff they sell. The antenna systems are where you can get at. But some people told me they got it pretty cheap, and I've ordered them before. Let's take a look at these here. Base antennas. This is what they have, the serials. You can look at that. Antron 99. I would not buy this antenna. Worst mistake to buy one of them, because I had one of these antennas called a Super Lance, and it was by Saturn. It looks just like this coil. I'll show you in a second. It's good, but I would not buy one of these things. What happened back when I was 17, 16 back then, when I got it back in 1997 with my Navajo radio, and they said you didn't need anything to adjust your SWR. This was my first CB antenna that looks just like the same design. It's got coils in it, and I had it on a 50-foot pole, about 51 feet it came total, and mostly I was talking to guys in Kentucky, 50 miles away to Homestead, Florida, and all over Hollywood, Florida on channel 17. This, I would not recommend to buy this. If you live in an area like apartments and stuff like that, that would be good for that. I would make my home antenna if I was anyone. But in a year later, in 1997, when I went off the air, it smoked up my radio on the left side of where it smoked out. And that's what happened. It had that horrible microphone with Wagmaster show, but what the Radio Shack one has. That's what happened. But what got me back to the C radio guys, you know the story about that. But this is a pretty good one, serial. But look at these Jumanchis. These are humongous monster antennas. There's my Mako V5000. It's that different kind of Makos. That is a diamond type shape there too. There's the Mako 103s. I've seen one of those. My next door neighbor had one of these back in 1996, in 1993, when I moved in Hollywood, Florida, to my second location back then. And he had one of these. He was called Greenie on the airways. This guy was pumping a lot of amps out, probably 5,000 watts back in the day, I believe, on my TVs. But there was actually a big strapper than this guy called Memphis Boy back in the day. He was a 55,000 watt base station that had a Moonraker antenna. That's what he had. So these Makos come in that size. They make at least an 8-element Mako. Man, I would love to have one of those. That is a monster. But if you have a good system, I would look at something like this if you want to go to all the way to, if you want to hit Australia. If I was anybody up in Canada, I would definitely get one of these. Look how big these guys are. I would have to go Monster all the way, or Moonraker, so much to go with. But I like my serial right now because it holds the lightest weight. There's the antenna. It's still the same price. This is where I bought it from way back then, 2 years ago. This is my Mako 5000 where I got it from. It comes with coax seal if it included. And there's the one Dennis uses. There's the Starduster. And my dad actually had one back in the 1970s on his house in Homestead, Florida. The only thing I knew, it was a Starduster. I've seen the design of this kind of thing, and I've seen some around in Tennessee. I've seen one. There's one up near Powell, Tennessee, up where my brothers have, out in the field somewhere. Someone on a tower. I've seen it one time, and I've seen one of these. And I saw one up by near Olive Springs, and it's not there anymore. But there's another antenna, CB antenna, up in that area I've seen. This is the one Dennis has. And my dad had one of these on his Midland type base station back in the day, but I've seen it back in 1994 when I went to my grandparents' house in Homestead, Florida, and he had a CB radio set up, and my uncle had one. And that's what one of these look like. So that's what I'm saying. Pretty good quality system. This is the serial SY27 3-element. This is pretty cool, but that's the one Jungle Joe has. I'll show you mine I actually have. I went for the big one because it gives you a little bit either way. Where's my this is where I got it from. And I got it from Copper Electronics about 2 years ago. About almost a year ago. So this is where almost 2 years, because last year I set it up the whole thing. It took months to do it and get it all designed. and I had it during December that year before, but this is the one I actually have. So this one I run on an antenna tuner. And this is a very light antenna, but it is a very light system, but it's very heavy when you lift it up on a chain. It weighs about 13 pounds. Because they put it all in millimeters. That's what they put. The people don't understand about millimeters in the United States. Mostly we do by pounds and feet and all that. And this is what it is. So Copper Electronics is a pretty good site to check it out, because I would recommend to look at. And people told me they got these antennas from Walmarts and stuff. And I think the guy Flash is going to get one of these antennas. He's looking at one of these. I think he's talking about. And there's a lot of good choices. I recommend Copper Electronics and other sources, Walmart, stuff like that. So I'm going to go back to the web SDR servers on there. So who's out there today? And sometimes the Oak Ridge repeater comes up once in a while if it's down, and that's how you know. We're listening, guys, over in Nashville, Tennessee. Let's go look down somewhere in an area. What would be the most skipped zone? And there's one near Charleston. Look, where Dirty Diaper's at. We might be able to hear him out here on this channel. Look at this, guys. We might be able to hear him. Wow, we might be able to hear Dirty Diaper on this channel. Yeah, we didn't know he's near that area. The activity out there in the Carolinas. Wow. Dirty Diaper should try out his radio over here. Let me see if I can turn the volume up. Hold on a second. There we go. We can go down here. You guys hear that fine? There's gotta be a way to turn the volume up, looking at where it turns it up at. We're way out there, guys. $605. Heard that guy. Well, I think I've talked to him before. 605. Yeah. Let me see if you guys can hear him. Let me turn it on. There we go. Can you guys hear him now? Let me see who's in the chat room here. I can see you guys in the chat. We got studio out here. Yeah, this thing has a whole entire program inside of it. You can see everything in the system. This is pretty cool. This thing actually can see live YouTube Studio. So I'm looking at you guys in the chat. It's telling you in a browser. Cool. This whole program thing has YouTube Studio built into this, and has everything inside of this thing. It's pretty cool. The OBS 3.1, and has everything inside it. You can see the chat inside of this too. Cool, I can see the chat here. But I actually run those things on a tuner, and I wish I had that. It's the serial antenna. I went with the Jungle Joe route. Oh, you're from Northern Ireland. Cool. So the only thing how I got my coax, and I had to deal with foam farming stuff. That's how I got that, because I'm lucky I had some money left over for either way. I had to grab it for that coax. Had to got that, but I think we're gonna be okay with the coax for a while. I made contacts yesterday, Flipper. I did actually talk to some guy 1409 in Texas last night on channel 38, and mostly it was like around 10 o'clock last night. I was out there before I turned on the video I did yesterday, and there was some guy playing music on channel 38, some Texas music, and I went to hop over 37, heard some people out there, but I heard a lot of them on channel 39 last night, and I went down to 26 to talk to those guys out there, but conditions were not all that great. But we had Houston, Texas last night around 10 o'clock, and it was all that noisy in the background, but I actually made a contact to 1409 last night on 38. Then he went up there on 39, I think he did. So how you guys are doing a skip out there? Can you guys hear the SDR in the background? This is pretty nice. This thing's got a lot of good features in it. I think Wagmaster should recommend this program. It'd be a little bit easy on him, but you can see everything inside of it. But you have to play around with it once you learn how to do it. But they do have a little delays in it. The phone's usually better, but this is like you can go on a lot of stuff with this. Oh, Hawaii. But did you guys hear about that, Did you guys hear about what happened, that tsunami wave out there in Hawaii, but it didn't hit them that bad? It only hit 4 foot. That's what I heard. They had an earthquake a couple days ago, like an 8.9 off the coast in the Pacific Ocean near Russia and that way. Then they were on high alerts, I heard. And Hawaii does, and also California was. We're actually on Charleston, South Carolina, West SDR. We're looking at right now. This is a pretty cool program. You can see everything inside. I'm actually on YouTube right now, looking at the website here. We can go back here. The good thing, you could jump on this little thing here, and you see everybody in the chat, and you can go to the studios. It's like 2 windows in one. You can play around with this. I just found this by accident. Was looking at BitChute, and it said you could actually run this on BitChute and other platforms and YouTube. It's pretty cool. This is actually an SDR on the site, but it's pretty good. Look at all this stuff they have here on Charleston, South Carolina. So we might be able to hear Dirty Diaper out there once in a while. I would check this channel out on him. You might be able to see him on this thing. We might even see how he puts out here. Let's go look at some different parts of the world, see who's out there. Let me see, my audio is still going on. Let's see, it's still going. Yeah, it was still going, okay. It was a small surge. Actually, it was a big one, yeah. Pretty good. But this is a program, you guys should check it out. Maybe you guys could do your own live streams out there and see, you could check around. Maybe what it sound like. There's Hawaiian Islands. And mostly... This is mostly the most popular SDR up there is up in this area. This is out by I literally used to live in this area up here a long time ago, but I'll show you. So these are like web SDR. They're on the site. There are like 3 of them. This is out by the Golden Spike Park out there. Usually the Golden Spike out here. I've been there before, and I'll show you a place I've been to way back then out near North Bay. It's called the Dike, and you can actually go out there. And you can get the salt off the Great Salt Lake, and it helps you out. But this area, I used to live up in this area a long time ago. I'll show you guys where. Now, Brigham City, I've been there. But what you're seeing mostly Wagon Master at, I'll show you exactly where he's been. The videos you've been watching on his waterfall videos. Willer's actually a place I've been to. There's actually an Amish store there you can go to called Apple Creek. And they have a lot of peaches in this area. It's all peach fields. And there's some UDX member. There's a UDX member that lives in that area. I know this road very quite well, you guys know. And this is where I used to live up in this area. right about here in this area here. I used to live up here a long time ago, and I lived down this area down here when I first came to Utah. This is Mount Ben Lomond, one of the highest mountains in Utah, in this area. That is the original Paramount Studios mountain, Paramount Pictures mountain, the first one that came out. So, well, Wagon Master's been out, and I know exactly where he went to. Mostly Pine View Bazaar, I've been there, and over here in Rockport is where he's been ice fishing all these areas. It looks like Powder Mountain's one of those famous ones. Mostly he's all in this area here. I think that's around Rockport. That could be it over there. My dad did a lot of ice fishing out here. Most of this area here. And mostly he's out near Ogden, Utah, where the waterfall's at. This is actually the road here. I'll show you. Ogden Canyon Road is where Wagmaster is. But he didn't show you the really cool parts about it. But I'm trying to tell you, this is the waterfall where he's filming at, right about here. Right about here. But this is the place you go check out the Rainbow Gardens. They got waterfalls there. It's like a little shop here. And there's a lot of bike trails. I did some bike trails here. And this cool park here called the Rainbow Trail. You can go in here and walk around here and come back out here the other side. It's a little cool trail in here you can go into. He's probably not showing all the stuff, but it's a little pretty cool trail. I've been way back in 2021. My sister did a lot of her boyfriend dating here a long time ago with it. But this, it's got like a little forest in there. But this is a place called Rainbow Gardens. It's probably where Wagmaster's going out here having fun. I wish he did some DX skipping out there, but it's like a man-made. And I have been up on top of the waterfall, up this area here. You could take a road right up here and go up to see it. Or you could walk around these trails here. I've done it before. Very narrow. So it's actually like 30 minutes away from my old place where I lived. And it's all downtown Ogden stuff. And I don't know exactly where he's been, but there's actually a lot of CB guys in this area. The truck gas stations you should talk to in this area, especially the Flying J. Then you got the one up here north of that area. But if I was him, if he's gonna go get some good pizza going far west up here, there's a pizza place out there. But my mom used to have a horse here a long time ago over here. Rent a horse a while back, like a Mustang, and my sister did some either way. My dad used to work in this area, and there's a lot of food places in this area you can check out, and that's the Ogden Airport. I used to hear them very good up here where I lived back then. But I'll show you a good park I recommend you guys in Utah should go to, and it's out by Antelope Island. But Antelope Island's where all the buffalo live on there. But this is a park Wagon Master should do some skip videos out here. I'm trying to figure out where it's at. It's in Syracuse down there. And that is golf courses. But I'm showing you guys that. But there's actually, I think it's called Jenison Natural Reserve, I think it is. Natural Park. It's up in this area. I did a lot of stuff here. And you can walk through a road in this area. It's way out there in this area. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, this is the area. But right in this area, but usually it's in Syracuse. There's a park out there called Jenison Natural Reserve. I don't think it's on Antelope Road. It's pretty north of there. And they name all these names in this area. It's out near Syracuse, West Point. It's called Genesis Natural Park. I think it's in this area right here. And there's a lot of parks in this area. But yeah. They have like a bunch of little ducks and stuff. There it is. I found it, guys. That's the location. You guys want to go check this place out. This place, I recommend going to Utah. I think Wagmaster should go have some fun out here. Do some skip videos out here. These little lakes. You can walk around, take pictures of ducks. If popcorn's if anybody's in Wyoming like popcorn, I recommend to check this out in Syracuse. I've been here many times with my family. They got little fishes in it. It's like bike trails. You can walk around, have fun. I've done some shortwave videos out there, but I recommend try out some skip videos out in this area. And it's pretty good with the parking lot, but you got a lot of houses. But you might be able to bounce off the Great Salt Lake or go to Antelope Island. There's a lot of them out here. And I'll show you a place Wagmaster needs to go out here. I'll show him something. He needs to try a challenge to this for me, but I recommend him to go to Topaz Mountain, go get topazes. You got the rock hound. I've been there a while back. And I'm trying to look at there. Delta, Utah is a place you should go spend one night here. and they have a little hotel out here. I'd definitely do some skip videos out there if I was you. And this is the road, highways US 6. US 50 goes right into Nevada, and I've been up in that area. Trying to see if it is. Let's see. It's usually out that area, but I think it's north of this area. Fish Springs. If it's Sanson Springs, it's near that area. But Topaz Mountain's way the frick out here in this area. You're not going to see anything on this map, but it's one of the roads that goes out to this area. It's in this area here, and you can rock hound for stuff like that. Also, they got the famous trilobites here too. In this area, you can do in Delta. You can go get some trilobites, UDX fossils, look them up, you'll find them, and also go to Topaz Mountain, do some skip videos out there, get some camping gear. But it's Bureau of Land Management, it's all free lands, and there's a lot of shortcuts go. But this place you don't want to be in there, but you can go up to the Pony Express to go up to Tule that way. And Wagon Master's over this area, but he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And my dad did some rock, picked up some what is that black kind of rock over here in this area one time. And I think the farthest I've been down to is Richfield, and I only been there one time in that area because my sister had her graduation down there for 4-H type thing. She was in FFA. She was here one time and went back to our house for a whole day. Fillmore, I've been out there, just like a Wild West town, abandoned. But I've never been down to St. George. I've been down to here, and all over Arizona down here, and Gallup, New Mexico. I've been there, and I've been in all those areas. So let's go look at some SDRs, see what Salt Lake City sounds like in the even hours. See if we can get someone out there. I don't think they have a 20-cent. Oh, there's one in Logan. Someone's got one in Logan, Utah. We'll see what they hear out there. Logan's about 40 minutes away from where I used to live. See what they got in CB radios out there. Looks like all hammy stuff. This thing's pretty quiet down right now. Let's take a look at let's see. That's why I need some monies in this area. See if we can hear anything out there. There we go. Or 27 megahertz, 26. There we go. We got 2715. Let's take a look. Hey, I finally got someone up in northern Utah. Cool. Might be able to hear a Wagon Master out here. Chances you probably be pretty good at night. Sounds like something out of Mexico. What's going on channel 20? That's weird. They're both. Someone's playing sound clips on there too. Someone's got a sound clip on channel 20. Cool. Some of them truck drivers out there. Pretty cool. So I gave you some ideas for Wagon Master to give him a little assignment out there. I gave you guys on the maps where you can go. Most it's hard going to find either way, but yeah. But I'm giving you some guys to give you some skip zones out there. And that's what you guys should try, some skips out there. That's what you could try. I'm going to mute my microphone a minute, let you guys listen to some audio. I want to go look around the SDR bands, see who's out there, and I'll be right back in a few minutes. Let me go find a station out here.
Se apaga, no hay hipoxia. Bueno, creo que ya quedó. Todo eso está bien clarito. Ya empezó otra vez la distorsión. ¿Tú no te das cuenta cuando usted falló? No. And the guy in the range would hand you a 50 round. Hey, 75, 2105, break. Okay, Ted, somebody in there trying to get in there with you, man. I can't make them out, though. They keying with you. They're calling me, too, man. I just can't make them out. It might be that doggone, I don't know who it is. Let me get out of here, Spark Ted. Listen, jumping up and down, easy up. Hey, 75, 2105. 75, 2105. Yeah, Kilo, right on 75. Okay, 95, you made it plain and clear who it was that time. Hey, 75, you made it plain and clear who it was that time. But I was calling you, man. You take care, 75. I'm going to ease out of here. Have a good weekend, 75. Take care, Spark Plug. Listen, jumping up and down, easing out of here. Yeah, I'm going to ease out of here before I get knocked out of here, y'all. If Mr. Jumping up and down, say 75, Spark Plug, I'm going to ease out of here before I get knocked out of here. This is jumping up and down to go. 105, one antenna over here, buddy. In Virginia, buddy. I can't hold the condition. I'll take care of get back out of here, man. I just want to key down a couple more times. As if they're doing some 10-12, it's not too bad in Columbus. Might stay in Columbus, no doubt. So I'm back out of here. Might get back on spot. In 75. I'm going to go before I get easing out of here, but I can't get one antenna head in Virginia got down. Good evening, flying all night off uptown Little Country. I'm getting on down. guy reading the mail. Oh, 075. Hey, hardcore Nighthawk. Hello, hardcore Nighthawk, mate. Get out the bushes. Hey, 75, get out the bushes. Holiday Mobile is back reading the mail. Mobile's gone. Superman, Barbados, 20 miles. Superman, Barbados, 2105 with a he had to go back under for some air, and he got to wait till he catches breath. Hey, Spark Plug, I see you. Hey, 35, Spark Plug. I'm about to get out of here. 35, ain't you? I'm about to get in Georgia. Look at Rough Rider. I'm trying to get this mobile out of South Carolina and put it around Georgia. Look at Rough Rider. Oh, Rough Rider's mobile's on the mail. On a Friday evening, boy, I tell you, things is moving in Texas. Somewhere down there in the morning, man, I got going. The Superman got that big ass on his chest. The Superman got that big ass on his chest. Oh, Rough Rider said, the Superman. All your fish are gone. The Superman got that big ass on his chest. Oh, Rough Rider said, the Superman got that big ass on his chest, buddy. What you waiting on? 24, what you waiting on?
You guys see that on the screen? You guys in the chat? Let me try to open up to see you guys in the studio. I'm gonna take a look, guys, in a second. Hey, alright, I'll let you go, Flipper. Have a good one. So you guys still in the stream, let me know. You see this? The TRC-492 is my first base station. That's the one, guys. The one I had in Hollywood, Florida, right there. I had the stock mic, but I had that other mic they had with the red button. This was my first base station. And I got it that year in 1995. It was $100 back then. It was on sale for $100 back in the day. So this is the Radio Shack of 1995 catalog here. So that's the radio I had back then. Might have had a similar radio, looks like this one here. It was something like this. Look at these walkie-talkies. These are pretty cool. I remember these too. I used to get every Radio Shack catalog magazine in the mail when I used to get them. Back then they used to have them in the mail when you get these every time they advertise these things. That's the microphone I had in my base station back in 1995. That one right there. It was like a different kind, like a 7-volt battery. Wish I had one of these guys. This one looks almost like my radio here. The one I have here, except the VFO is pretty damaged here. But this is something like I have, looks like this. I have a short radio, looks like that one. Yeah, these are pretty cool walkie-talkies, but I wish I had a lot more with sideband and AM. But these are pretty good quality for the day to have. This one's, I didn't know they made that back in the 90s. CRC 465. Someone should donate that one to 2112. This radio looks pretty cool from the 90s. I bet you it operates better than some of those things do. So I show you my first base station. That was it. Let me go back to you guys in a second. I can see you in the chat. This is a pretty cool program. You should take a look at it, guys. It's going to be a delay in a second when it goes back to the screen. There's a delay in this thing, but I would recommend Wagmaster to get this program, and he can go around on the web and have some fun with this stuff, and he can show a little bit better. But there's a little delay in it, but it's better than what it does. And make sure you update it once in a while, but it's called OBS 3.1. This one works for all the stuff. So I'm going to let you guys go, guys. Let's say before we go out of here, I'm going to go take a look at the channels we're going to advertise, talked about today. These guys here, down here. Check out Rooster CB Radio. Take a look at him. He's got a great channel out there. He does these live streams once in a while called 2 Radio Night. He's about 60 miles from me. He did one the other night. I didn't watch this video, but there's one called 2 Radio Night. See, these radios he does here, you can see. He does one right here. This is 2 Radio Night right here. He did one 2 months ago. And that he had 2 radios. This guy does pretty good stuff here. You guys see the 2 radios he actually has. That's he's about 60 miles from my area down in Cleveland, Tennessee. See, he does it once in a while. But in our area, we have it pretty clear out here where we live out here. Pretty good conditions at night. And trust me, in East Tennessee, you'll be able to hear a little bit better. But CB is pretty active out here, but we have a lot of great. There's a lot of people good in this group here. They're called the Smoky Mountain Skip Chasers, and these guys just mostly AMs. And some are sideband too. I talked to these guys, and he has some great setup. But he does a shop once in a while. So I'm gonna go show some more here. I'm gonna show that here. Check out his channel, 21.SC, Old Radio Night. This guy does a lot of amazing stuff. Yep. There's videos of that. This is all his live streams here. And he's pretty cool. He's got a heck of a channel, this guy has. He does all kinds of stuff. But mostly, I'm going to show 2112 out here in YouTube land. So check that out. He's out of Charleston, South Carolina. Either way. And pretty cool video. And we got CB-2112 out here too. He does stuff once in a while. Check out his channel. And this guy, I watched him the other day. I've been watching some of his videos. I was watching this video here. I don't want to move it. That one right there. Right here, I'll put above. He was showing about these little boxes. This guy has some cool stuff here. I was just like, I never built one of these things before, but he's got pretty interesting stuff on his boxes. But I know that we got on our UDX group, we have guys that build them too. Like 3 May does it, and UDX 122 does it too. And Jungle Joe's been doing a lot of videos and stuff. And he hasn't done a live stream for a while. He used to do it, but I've been watching some of his. I saw one of his videos today. He's been making some contacts out there. But that's where I got the idea about his serial antenna from him. And he has 4 antenna systems. And we have some others too here. This channel I would recommend to check out him. Dennis out there, Old Tube Radio Network. Comes on Saturday nights on 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So he does all these live streams here. And that's Dennis. He has a lot of stuff on his channel. He's been doing this for way back then. And he's been adding up like that. Look at the views he's been getting, a lot. And he's got almost like 1.8 subscribers. Like, yeah. And here's Catalyst 122. I don't know. This guy builds stuff here. I'm going to go look at his videos here. And that looks like the Mad TV guy from the 890s I've seen. That's a comic book from the Mad TV era with the thing. My dad used to watch him a long time ago. And this is some of the stuff he builds, something like that right there. So he's got a lot of great stuff. This guy has a lot of fantastic on his channel. So also, don't forget to check out Mower Junkie. Mower Junkie is one of those guys, hasn't he? He's got me on the video here. I'm still up there pretty well. 839 views if I've seen the video when I talked to him. So I might get the beam going up this week because we're going to get some nice weather this weekend. It's going to be a break for a few days. But I've been busy helping my mom with my dad for a while because getting the stuff out of his throat and stuff and all this stuff. And all cleaning, he's been doing that because he had that antibiotic in him for almost a week. He almost didn't make it, but he made it. He made it okay. They got him out of the kidney stones down below. And everything's flowing okay, but my mom's been up for the last 2 nights. Yesterday it was, and she finally has some rest, and because he kept my mom up all night because my mom kept helping him out and all this stuff. So looks like Mower Junkie's got another video he put out there too. So also you got the World Radio 559. I think he does something like what I'm doing here, but it's a pretty cool thing. I don't know what he uses, but he does a lot of live streams on his channel, and this is just hilarious. But we get, and you want to get checked in on Friday nights, 11 o'clock p.m. I think it's like 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, and it goes on until midnight my time. So you get checked in, he'll get you checked in on the chat. And if you're out there on the radio, you can get checked in too. So I'm just looking at all these things here. We got popcorn here. Yalbot is a, I'll tell you about this channel here. I'm not going to go quick. It's a 24-hour radar system. They talk about severe weather. It's owned by that Ryan Hall, same guy. So they have a 24-hour weather radar system all the time if you live in a severe storm area. And this is like an AI robot that tells you where the severe thunderstorms are at on the radar and stuff like that. The Radio DX one's another guy I've seen out of Oklahoma. And you got a lot of people out here. 11-meter repeater. That's Mopar. We got Andy out here. Fred in the Shed's a good one. And Golden Gate 1220, check him out. I feel sorry what happened to Golden Gate. He's doing good, but he's alright. He does this video once in a while. This is UDX 1220 out there, Golden Gate. So we have a lot of channels that we'll talk about later on. So we're going to go back to the SDR services. So I recommend to check these out on the internet. We get some time. I'm going to jump back over here. Alright, that was the one in Louisiana. This is a pretty interesting channel on this. If you guys are talking to people down in Louisiana, you might be able to hear yourself down there. So, just want to let you guys go. Have a great day. UDX 362 over Knoxville, Tennessee. And we're going to get on out of here.